Ellen McCauley of Pray It Up. I want to talk a little bit about discipline. Just the word itself brings up things to your mind. Somebody's out there thinking, I'm not very disciplined. And what I say is, in everything or just in losing weight? Because do you get up and get dressed and go to work every day? Have you kept the same job for 30 years? That shows a lot of discipline. Have you been married to the same person for 25, 30 years? That shows a lot of discipline. There's a lot of things in your life where you've shown a great deal of discipline. And I just think we need to take some of that skill set and bring it over into this skill set. And there's a difference between willpower and discipline. So many people think they're the same things, but listen to this. Willpower is the faculty or the wherewithal or the feeling by which a person decides on and initiates action. All right, I want to lose weight. Ellen McCauley, hi Ellen, can I join that Pray It Off group? I go, yeah, you got to make a commitment. You got to come every Thursday, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll be there. Action. There's some willpower. I'm showing it. You got to fill out the food log. They fill it out. They come the next week. What's discipline? Discipline is to train yourself to do something in a controlled and habitual way. That's where, now maybe we're okay on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but once Friday, Saturday comes, one of the things I was going to talk about in the Bible verse that I'm surprised no one mentioned was, I got to go back because it reminds me, you know how many people have wine on their food logs? And I wondered why people skipped over, and do not get drunk on wine in which lies debauchery, but be filled with the Spirit. It's okay to have a couple of glasses of wine, but if you're really trying to lose weight, you need to look at every avenue you can to cut calories. And once you make a commitment, once you have the willpower to start, how do you get the discipline? You set manageable goals. You do it gradually. And you know, one person told me a story in the group that she went out to, I'm not going to mention her name, so I hope she doesn't mind me telling the story. She went out to lunch with a group of her friends, and they said, you look pretty good. And she says, well, yeah, you know, I've lost 30 pounds. 30 pounds? Well, how long has that taken? And she's like, well, 5 years. Now, all these friends were chunky, by the way. That adds to a lot of the story. And they go, 5 years? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous that it took you 5 years. That's too long. While they're sitting there chunky. What do you see about this? 5 years ago, they were still chunky. So now, either you have 5 years go by and you lose 30 pounds, or you say that's too long and you're still fat. Where's the logic in there? Where's the wisdom? Where's the determination? I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if it takes 10, 20, 30. We're on a journey. We're working it together. Also, I love this. Take as long as you need to get to where you want to be, and never push yourself beyond your discipline's ability. Now, this is a pass card for you to go, okay, I'm going to work a little on my discipline, maybe in session 22. No. What it means is that you need to slowly make some changes. And then here's something else on discipline. So often we think of discipline as punishment, don't we? Oh, parents discipline their children. Now, if you don't tell your children not to run into the street, they're going to get hit by a car. And you keep going to run in the street, and maybe the discipline gets a little harsher. Stand in the corner, or a pat on the bottom or something, although that's frowned upon these days, but not in the 60s it wasn't, let me tell you. But if you do not tell your children that, don't do this, be careful about this, there's a lot of dangers in this world. Do we not love them when we're giving him those signs of discipline? So we show love to ourselves when we show discipline to ourselves. If we say, look at that beautiful spread. I did a presentation and they sent me not today, but yesterday, they sent me the people I did it for, sent me a beautiful thank you note in this huge, gigantic, kuchen cake with all this filling, and it looked to die for. And the thank you note was so beautiful about how much they loved the presentation. Then I took that honker kuchen cake and I put it on the break room table, which is right next door to my office, walked in my office, and then I remembered I wanted to go get something else from the break room, and I walked in. It was gone. People descended on it like locusts in Egypt during like the time of Moses. People were in there going, it was insanity. You know, I wanted to go, oh my gosh, you know. But believe me, I didn't even want it. But we have to see that when I disciplined myself to not want the kuchen or whatever you call it, it wasn't that I was saying, oh, you're so great. I literally did not want it. It took 10 years to get there, but I got there. And also, discipline often fails to take into account the deeper motivations. That's why we talk and pray it off about shame, about anxiety, about depression. Because it's not always about the fact that we don't know a Whopper with cheese isn't as good for us as a salad. But there's something going on in our lives where we believe for a moment that the Whopper will make everything better. Oh, if I have that Whopper, I won't think about blah, blah, blah. And for a moment, it does. You know, when that special sauce is dribbling down your chin, and you get it on your shirt, and you're picking up your shirt, and you're licking it. For a moment, it does make it a little bit better. But nothing makes it as good as God. And then they talk about this person in this article here that, you know, she's gained weight and lost weight and gained weight. And the doctor finally said, you know, when have you ever, like, lost weight easily? And she said when she changes her life, and when she travels abroad, or when she goes for education, when she made a change in her life that was for the better, she had no trouble losing weight. So many times if we change our lives for the better, I'm in a job now that I like. I'm at a place now where Bob and I have all this time with each other, and we love that. And I'm in a good place, so it's better for me to lose weight now. But we don't always have the luxury of getting to a good place. Sometimes we have to deal with where we are now. If we feel like we're in a prison in our lives, it's harder to lose weight. Also, there's 18 tips for improving food discipline. And you know, these are so basic, but the thing is, think of the consequences. We don't think of the consequences at the time. We go into this fugue state where you're like Scarlett O'Hara. I think about that tomorrow, you know? But think of the example you're setting for your children. My children are so proud of me, and they love Pray It Off. They tell their friends about it. So it's a good example for them. Also, think about the example you're setting for those who you hope will follow you down the road. That's why I said to Bob, I can't let myself go, because I stand up in front of that group every week and I want to be a good role model for them. Also, see the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe the light at the end of the tunnel will always be a little farther away, but as long as you see it shining, as long as there's a flicker of light, that's all we need to get to. We don't have to have the light right on our face, but we just have to see the flicker. Also, put it off for just one more day. Let's say you want that candy bar. Say, you know what, I'm going to have one tomorrow. And sometimes things change and you don't even want it tomorrow. There's a million of them here. Start by having less, not none. You want a whole roll of cookies? Have 2, and then the next day, you know, maybe you won't have any. Reward yourself, but not with food. Also, remove the temptation. We did a lot of things with our company. Like, here you go. Bob took things to work. Again, work. People are like locusts. It's like they've never eaten. Yeah, you could give them, 2-week-old stuff. They don't care. They're in there eating it. Also, enjoy life and find something to enjoy other than food. Get moving. I like this. It says read Shogun. I haven't read Shogun in years, but they recommend it. Think of the money you could save by foregoing treats. This lady at work, I was going out in the elevator with her, she's like, you know, I realize this, I spend like $7 a day just like on candy bars and chips I buy in the machine. Kind of chunky. And I'm like, what? $7 a day? And I said to her, I haven't spent 1 cent in the whole time I've worked here at the county for 3 years. And she goes, well, how's that possible? I said, because I haven't spent 1 cent. I bring everything. I bring my coffee. I bring my lunch. If I eat breakfast, I bring that. You don't have to spend money.